EnglishSimmer here, and if you know anything about me, you know I love a cute, cozy farming simulation game, and that's what we're going to be talking about in this video right here. I will say this one is a little bit different because this has been sponsored by the ranchers, and they've sponsored me to have a look at the game and also to encourage you to go check out their Kickstarter, go find out more information about the ranchers, future development of this game, and all of that good stuff. So it will be linked down below. If you are watching this literally as this video has gone live, the Kickstarter is also live, so you can find out all the information that I'm going to be talking about today and then future updates along the way. So what I decided that we were going to do, we're going to watch their trailer together, and then we're going to talk about some other interesting stuff from their website, from their Steam page. You can also already wishlist for this on Steam. You are moving to a ranching country. When are we not? I'm so excited. Give me my little cozy farmer simulation. Let's go. Give me my ranch. It kind of looks like pretty tropical. Like, oh, stop. We start off with a little tent. This feels like a rags to riches challenge all over again. Let me have it. Of course, chopping wood, doing your farming. Main point is multiplayer from the get-go. Fingers crossed, obviously, this game is in development, so I don't want to promise anything in this video. We have house building, which I love a good, okay, I'm not a builder, you all know that about me. However, I do feel like when it's sort of a new game that I don't want to pause the trailer, but the little like area out the back didn't currently have stilts on it, but then it looked like they added a kitchen anyway. Stop, that little like farmhouse with the solar panels on was really cute. If there's one thing that I am confident in building, it's like little farmhouses, like just like generic farmhouses, you know? That's gonna be my comfort in this game. Obviously, you've seen that you can kind of drive around, which is really, really cool. Like, the map actually seems pretty decent. I mean, it's gonna have to be decent enough that you can drive around in. I've always wanted a Jeep, but then my brother said that Jeeps are apparently really bad when you live in the UK, because obviously it rains a lot, and so now I've been put out off the idea, but I can own one in this game. This is a romanceable NPC, a character, so they do actually have that included in the game as well. Look at us going on a little hot air balloon. Apparently that's how you get the girl. You go on a hot air balloon and then you have to own a Lamborghini or like a really posh sports car. Can't I just like, yeah, fish with my top off? We have hunting, we have boats, these like ruins that you can apparently swim to and like drive a boat to if you want to. This is where it gets kind of interesting. Like, I feel like this is where the art style, like the mines still go in with the art style, but I don't know. I feel like the mines are like kind of fantasy, which honestly I quite like. As you know, I recently got into like TTRPGs, so I quite like the look of that big like dragon thing and having to like defeat that in the mine. It definitely seems like one of the bosses. Maybe that's the big bad. Honestly, I get kind of stressed out when I have to go into the mines or the ruins within a farming sim game, especially when there are enemies and they look like pretty big enemies. Like I said, obviously this game is still very early in its development, so fingers crossed everything that we're seeing like in the trailer is eventually gonna make it into the released version of the game. By checking out the Kickstarter, you can see all the updates and like what they're planning to add in the future and what has been added. I will hold my hands up and say probably the first time I play it, I'm gonna do it as like a little solo run fun so that I can kind of get used to it. You know, I feel like there's slightly a learning curve when it comes to any of these types of games, like based on how long the days are, like what you need to get done. But from the get-go, you can apparently just like explore it with your friends. You can drive around with them on like the back of your bike. I think it's really fun for like role playing and also challenges. Like I reckon you could like challenge your friends to like who can collect the most wood in a certain amount of time, who can like romance a certain character the quickest. I just think that is going to be so much fun to do in this game. Which, speaking of romanceable characters, over on the Rancher's Steam page, which will also be linked down below, they've started doing little character reveals. So this was the second set of character reveals. We have Alyssa, who, my word. We have Ivan, then we have Hazel, and we also have Bruno. And then in the first dev update, we had Chris, Nina, Pablo, and Eva. I want Pablo's style. Pablo is everything that I want to dress like in summertime. Obviously, we haven't really seen how you interact with them yet. Like if their like face pops up with a little character icon next to their like speech bubble. We did see the character in the trailer interact with someone, but that was earlier, I think, than when these designs were drawn up. So I would really like to see like how we're actually gonna interact with these people. Also, when it comes to the dates, I want to know if we can like actually plan our dates or like if they're just gonna be cutscenes, because obviously we went on a hot air balloon, we were dancing in a bar with the person that we gave a gift to. So it would be quite nice if you can kind of just like travel around with them at your own pace and like not just have cutscenes. That's my personal hope anyway, because I think that could be super fun. You can actually settle down with them. You can start a family with them. Obviously, speaking about like traveling around the world and stuff, we have a gigantic open world. Well, I hope so. On foot, horseback, scooter, pickup, or yacht. Are you kidding me? How is there yachts in this game? Explore a gigantic open world where mines, wild islands, shipwrecks, and dangerous monsters abound. Use your skills to recover ultra-rare minerals, gems, etc. to make and improve your tools, donate them to the village museum, I love a good village museum, or sell them at the auction market to other players. The auction market is again a concept that we haven't really like seen. I haven't personally from like the games that I've played, but you can sell your resources to other players via the online auction market to maximize your profits. The auction market is directly accessible from within the game and from the companion application on iOS and Android. I'll hold my hands up and say, usually when there's a companion app to a game, I don't really like it all that much. I would just prefer to do it in game, but at least they're giving you the option for both. My hope with this like auction market is that it kind of doesn't become like toxic in a way, because obviously when you've got like players interacting with each other on there and stuff, I think my one wish for the auction market is that like the prices are set by the game and not really set by the players themselves, because I feel like sometimes that can kind of put you off a game when people are like super high into the game and they're obviously earning like so much money, and you can kind of start the game and then be like, oh well, like what's the point? Like people have already played this game for so long. Obviously like I'm never gonna like get up there, and I kind of hope that like if you are selling like excess stuff, then you can just like list it on the catalog. And then with the traveling and stuff like that, I mean like they have cars, they have boats, like the world I feel needs to be pretty sizable to have access to those things. I love a good driving game as well. This is taking like all my favorite parts of like a lot of different like simulations and roleplay games and just like putting them all together in one, which makes me very, very hopeful. It's also a lot of stuff to work on, so fingers crossed all of this is in like early access and when the game is released. But not only does it look like quite a sizable world and you have like a mini map and stuff on the UI, but it's also a dynamic world. So basically there's like multiple ways to do things. I really like it when games are like that. I think it makes your playstyle style feel much more individual to you. Like, you could be watching someone play this game like online and then be like, I didn't even know that you could do that. Like, for example, when you're chopping down trees, you can either like shoot at it. You can also just chop it the normal way with like an axe. If you own a car, you can just like ram your car into the tree a couple of times and it'll like knock over. I think that kind of adds a little bit of fun and means that you can kind of switch up your gameplay a little bit. Like I said, I think this game's gonna be sick for like challenges. There are also weather conditions. So there is dynamic weather. We've seen a little sneak peek so far of how the snow is gonna look and how certain modes of transport is like gonna interact with that snow. With the building of houses, like I said, I'm not really a builder. I don't have that much confidence when it comes to the exteriors. I don't think I'm gonna mind this one so much. It doesn't look like super overwhelming, so I feel like I might be able to like get to grips with it. And anyway, if not, I can just take inspiration from like the trailer and basically just copy a house that we've seen in the trailer. But I am a really big fan of interiors. How did they place that fan then? I kind of want to see what it's currently looking like when it comes. So it looks like that was like freely moving and then it was green when you could place it. Doesn't look like it's really working on a grid system, although this little flower pot kind of did look like it was snapping. Some of them definitely look like they're on a grid system. I think that is just like a different thing because it's a fan and it's kind of like up on the ceiling and you can kind of place them anywhere. Definitely would like to see more of the building aspect and like how that's actually gonna work. Also, they actually mentioned on their website that you can choose where you want to live, whether it be like on the beach, on a prairie, on top of a hill. So you're not just like stuck to like one area of where you need to live in this game, which is quite nice. When it comes to the animals, I mean, this is a farm right here. So as we can see, there's like horses. There's actually some horse equipment. Don't know if you're going to be able to like interact with that or if it's kind of just for like decoration for your farm. Little sunflowers over here. Then we've got sheep, we've got cows. This is a duck, then chickens in their little coops, and it actually looks kind of realistic in a sense as well. Like, it's not just like one big barn with like loads of chickens inside. Like, they all do seem to have like their individual coops. Don't know how many chickens you're actually gonna be able to like fit in one of those. There obviously is like one big barn here and then like quite a few like horses and sheep around. Did I just call cows horses? Horse girl is on the brain when it comes to farming sims. Hopefully we kind of have the freedom to build like the greenhouses that we want and it's not just like a placeable building. I think choice and freedom is going to be really important to me in this game. Like, don't get me wrong, it definitely looks like there's a lot of different routes that you can go down and you can kind of get creative with your gameplay, which is always an experience that I enjoy. But there are things in this game such as like hunting. There's also a part in the trailer where the person like goes to the fridge and there's a bunch of meat in there, which obviously like farming does lead to like farming meat and having that. But I know that's not going to be for everyone. You can hunt wild animals. You can also hunt insects as well. But obviously I know not everyone is going to agree with that side of this game. So I kind of hope that it doesn't like force you to do those things. I kind of hope there's like another way of going around it, that you can kind of just like cook meals with like veggies and stuff that you farm that way and maybe have animal products that don't actually come from meat, or you could do like a fully vegan run if you wanted to, because I do think those stories are also important to tell even in farming simulation games. Big thank you to the ranchers for sponsoring this video. Honestly, I've just had a blast like reading about this game, watching all of the videos that have been in the devlogs and the updates that we've seen so far. So I, for one, am very excited that we're hopefully just gonna see more and more of that. I love when you find games like this early on in their development and you can kind of see them like go through like storyboarding and like changes. The really cool thing about Kickstarter is that the community also gets to be part of that process. So big thank thank you to the ranchers for sponsoring this video. I've had an absolute blast. Excuse the pun. I know I'm not down in the mines yet. I don't think I ever will be. They look quite scary. I don't think I want to take them on actually, but I feel like I'm gonna need to, or else I'll be stuck with rubbish tools for the whole game. There's a challenge in itself. Boom. Look at all of these ideas. I'm on it. Give me this game now. I'm ready for it. Do keep in mind that the early access is planned for October, but it being early in development, things can always change in game development. I say it all the time when I'm looking at new games that especially aren't out yet. But thank you all so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed exploring a new farming sim game together. Please do not hesitate to let me know all of your thoughts and feelings down below. It's why I love doing videos like this. I'd love to hear what you're really excited for, what like changes you hope to see, or like what you hope to see in the game like throughout the development process. I appreciate you all so much, and I will speak to you all in my next one. Bye now.